Hello YouTube, it's DJ Dominator. Today is November 9th, 2021, and today I'm going to be reacting to how Amazon shipping works, featuring UPS and FedEx. So these Amazon technology videos and Amazon logistics kind of videos, they're pretty good, so I think you guys are in for a pretty good treat today.
Imagine you're a headphone company. You've got a great landing page, managed to get clients yourself, and don't rely on anyone else for exposure.
These are my headphones. So we go back for a minute. Yeah, these are this guy's headphones, and these are my headphones. Not using them right now because filming video, and you guys won't be able to hear it. So let's continue.
Page, manage to get clients yourself, and don't rely on anyone else for exposure. You've also invested quite a bit in creating a decent distribution network. Decent meaning a modest 2 to 4 day delivery. But,
well, 2 to 4 day delivery, people these days, they get pissed when it comes to 2 to 4 day delivery. I mean, because ever since 2005, when Amazon Prime was first introduced, I mean, everyone expected things like, whoopee, 1 to 2 day shipping. Now it's like, you got 2-hour delivery, 2-hour grocery delivery, 2-hour whatever delivery, and yeah, deliveries have come a long way. Put it to you that way.
unless your headphones have the perfect bass and treble combination,
I mean, no headphones like that, so it'd be very hard to compete.
you'll still have to deal with other brands in the market, except that your competition uses Amazon fulfillment. Yes, they do pay a not-so-modest average of 13% per item plus an additional fee, but with one-day shipping, they can lure enough customers to more than make up the difference.
That's Amazon for you.
While you struggle,
Post office sortation center. That's basically what Amazon fulfillment center is. I've never worked at Amazon, but that's just the shit I've heard.
and sweat to ensure deliveries are on time, Amazon can do everything overnight. Having a superior product is great and all, but research shows that 25% of customers won't consider buying if it isn't shipped in 2 days or less.
If it's not in a day or two, I want my shit today. If it's not like that, then the customer's not gonna buy it. Flat out, straight up.
What's worse is that 2/3 are willing to pay a premium to get it early. Guess who's capitalizing on that? Through the years, Amazon has built one of the most intricate but efficient supply chains. It's partnered with several regional and global logistics companies.
FedEx and UPS, and FedEx recently just cut ties with Amazon because, no, they don't cut ties. I think they didn't renew their contract or something like that. I think that's what it said. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think they just didn't renew their contract with Amazon, with FedEx did.
Companies made deliveries with drones,
Now
paid
drone
less
deliveries.
tax than sausage stalls in Austria, and bossed the online retail space.
They basically with drones, they do the work and they don't complain like everyone else at Amazon in the warehouses and all them. All the employees I hear complain a lot.
Making more revenue than the next 9 biggest retailers combined. Since the inception of Prime in 2005,
Yep, told you,
Amazon has
2005.
consistently stayed ahead of the game. Unlimited 2-day shipping was a luxury unheard of at the time, and just when it seems others have caught up, they've raised the stakes again.
Amazon is like the flat out no limit mentality.
Amazon's fulfillment network consists of several types of facilities with different roles in the supply chain. There are inbound cross-dock centers, which receive goods from vendors, inbound and outbound sortation centers, return centers, delivery stations,
Hold on.
roles in the supply chain. There are inbound cross-dock centers, which receive goods from vendors.
Inbound cross dock centers. This is pretty good to know. Inbound cross dock centers. Let's read this. Act as buffers, package the incoming goods into truckloads, and replenish fulfillment centers as needed. So pretty much they just restock the product that Amazon will sell from the manufacturer or some shit like that. Next.
Inbound and
Sortation centers. Move packages that come from fulfillment centers to USPS post offices and or other Amazon delivery centers, which basically is like, yeah, like your typical FedEx, UPS, DHL, sortation centers, basically. Pretty much what Amazon has become. It's like a better version of the USPS.
outbound sortation centers, return centers.
Return centers, you know what these are. Well, they take returns. Pretty self-explanatory.
Delivery stations.
Delivery stations. They're like the local hubs, like the local deliveries to do all of it. Let's read this. Final step between sortation, fulfillment centers, and the customer's house. So basically, last mile delivery, which is the most expensive part of any delivery process. Basically, anybody, no matter how familiar you are with logistics or not familiar you are with logistics, that's the way. That's what you should. That's what you should know. You should know that.
Airport hubs,
Airport hubs. You know what this means. I'm too lazy.
Prime Now hubs,
Prime now. Oh shit. Oh my god. They have all kinds of hubs. You know what this means. I'm too lazy.
Whole Food distribution centers.
Oh my god. I'm guessing they're like Whole Foods markets or something. Or it's typically in not really like most zip codes, but like the higher end zip codes and higher end areas around the US. But yeah.
And a few others. Building
They have more centers besides all the centers they just listed?
more facilities means a rise in inventory costs. But in the long run, this reduces transportation costs. Every so often, a new distribution center is built when the volume of deliveries in an area is large and profitable enough to invest in.
Well, I'm guessing that that's the reason the malls are all closing. And yeah, that's why I feel like whenever the mall that gets knocked down, an Amazon fulfillment center comes in to shortly replace it.
For Bezos, it's always about playing the long game.
That's how he is. That's just what Bezos does. I mean, for example, they could wait like 1 minute and make $2, or they could wait 7 minutes and make $10. They're gonna do the second option over the first option.
Except for the Fire Phone. That was pretty short-lived. At the heart of the storage and distribution network are fulfillment centers. Amazon has more than 250 of these globally.
I thought it was 175.
Fulfillment centers are massive facilities. The largest one is around 93,000 square meters in size.
Oh shit.
It is here that most of the products are brought in from vendors, inspected to make sure they meet standards, organized into shelves, and later shipped in the appropriate packaging when an order is placed.
I mean, this is crazy. I've heard before they walk like some 12 to 15 to 20 something miles a day. I mean, that's crazy, really crazy.
When that happens, your package, along with others near you, is collected by external logistics drivers, who deliver them to their respective airport hubs. Now, Amazon does have its own fleet of planes and trailer trucks.
They're growing their
only
plane fleet.
responsible for a fraction of the packages. Its air fleet of 50 is still relatively small compared to 251 of UPS, or the 650 strong of FedEx.
Yep,
More on
FedEx,
this
yes,
later.
sir. FedEx
At
strong.
last
Yes, sir.
comes the time to deliver the package from the nearest warehouse to the customer's doorstep. How hard can that be?
It's very expensive.
The last mile, as it's called, is the costliest
Yeah,
part of the
most
entire
expensive.
journey, with estimates suggesting up to 53% of the total cost per package.
Yep.
Shipping in bulk is always cheaper, and as the number of items reduce, the cost per item increases. Then there's geography. In rural areas, 2 consecutive delivery stops could be miles apart. Cities, on the other hand, have less deviation, but more traffic.
I mean, it makes sense. Rural communities, you would have I feel like suburban areas would be the easiest to service, and rural and extreme urban areas would be very hard to service. Urban because of traffic, and rural because of the sheer distance between house A and house B or something like that.
The last mile issue affects all e-commerce companies. Just look at Walmart, which, despite having stores less than 10 miles away from 90% of the US, is still spending billions trying to figure efficient ways to ship products. For the last mile, Amazon mostly relies on third-party logistics providers like UPS or FedEx. Outsourcing not only means higher rates,
because they're
but
doing it
also not
themselves.
being able to control customer experience for the
You guys probably see a bunch of Amazon delivery vans in your neighborhood.
last part of the journey. But that's going to change. Amazon has been increasingly reducing dependency on other carriers. It's leasing more planes, buying more trucks, and baiting more students into its self-delivery program. A quarter of all
Amazon
shipments
Flex.
are now handled
It's like
by
basically
itself.
Uber for packages.
So, to recap, the vendor ships the inventory to a warehouse or warehouses. From there, the inventory is distributed among other branches as needed. A combination of their own freight system and others is used to get the packages to the closest shipping hub, and from there to the customer's house. But Amazon isn't slowing down. Its 6-year-old plan to start flying shipments in drones is almost ready. Drone delivery, if perfected, could drastically change the last-mile economics.
Basically make it a lot cheaper, what basically I'm hearing.
Especially in those areas discussed previously.
Yeah, extreme urban or extreme rural, because if you're in an area like this, the extreme rural, the house A and house B could be like 10 miles apart. While in the city, for example, extreme urban areas like New York, Philly, DC, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, yeah, they could all be right next to each other, but or it could even be in the same building. Who knows? But because of the sheer amount of traffic in those kind of places in urban areas, yeah, it would be very expensive.
And let's not forget the environmental benefits compared to traditional modes of transport. As
Oh
of
yeah, 'cause not
2019,
using
fulfillment
gas.
centers have over
You're
100,000
not using
robots
fuel
working
gas.
24/7,
You're not
with
using
more
fuel.
being added every year. With advancing development and automation, the next 10 years could be very different for supply chains. Soon, one-day shipping will no longer be a privilege, but a standard, which all businesses will strive to maintain. If you enjoyed the video,
Alright, guys, that is the end of the video. If you like this video, please leave me a like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and have a nice night.